Alrighty, another episode of the podcast with me and Caz. Caz, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Awesome, yeah, good, thank you. Today I want to talk to you a bit about ultra mums and all things to do with that sort of area. So, yeah, jumping straight in. What's ultra mums? How does it start?
So, Ultra Mums started probably approaching 2.5 years ago. At that stage, I'd probably recently returned to training after having our second child and was just feeling the benefits of exercise. I think when I had our first, who was sort of 4 years older, I hadn't discovered CrossFit at the time, and when I'd gone to some of the sort of mother and baby exercise classes, you know, you've all got your yoga mats and you're given hot pink half-kilo dumbbells, just working on triceps. I just found it wasn't enough for what I was looking for. So I was really keen to give mums and women a place where they can train. At the time, one of our members was pregnant and we were kind of talking about how she was going to have to, you know, finish her membership at the time. And I just thought, well, why not start a mums and bubs class? And I think the key thing is it's a class where women can bring their children with them to train, and we can very much tailor the session to wherever they're at and however they're feeling, and that might be completely different week to week. It's all safe exercises, scalable, much like CrossFit is, but just with a little bit more flexibility and obviously having the babies there.
Sure, okay, cool. So you said obviously you didn't really get, or you personally didn't really see or get much benefit from kind of typical postnatal return to exercise classes. Can you tell me a bit more about like how that actually led to the creation of Ultra Mums? So like in terms of maybe use your pregnancy journey and postnatal journey.
Yeah, I definitely think there are benefits, but I think a lot of either coaches or trainers are quite fearful of training this population. So postnatal women, you know, we're told not to lift heavy, avoid squats, we don't want to cause any issues with the pelvic floor. And I think that they're definitely considerations to take into account, but not every mother has issues with her pelvic floor. I think squatting is one of the, you know, the best exercises to regain core strength and glute strength. But I think it just has to be done under the right supervision.
Speaking of right supervision,
yeah.
Obviously your other line of work, which we talked about in the barbells for breast cancer episode, do you want to just remind everybody about what your other job is?
Yeah, no, so I work as a physio. I have done my women's health specific training. So I sort of am, you know, qualified in assessing pelvic floor, looking out for abdominal separation. So what we know as diastasis rectus, so that separation between the tummy muscles, which can lead to sort of bulging or coning during exercises. So I know what to look out for. I know how to adapt to exercises for, you know, various pregnancy and postnatal concerns. I think the other thing also with women postnatally is it's not always just about the pelvic floor. You know, we see a lot of other musculoskeletal complaints, so whether that's pelvic girdle pain, more so during pregnancy, or afterwards when they're recovering, you know, pelvic floor might all be fine, but they've got pain in their thumb or, you know, carpal tunnel or de Quervain's, which is a inflammation of the thumb tendons. We see a lot from sort of, you know, picking up babies and holding babies. Neck and shoulder pain from feeding. So all these musculoskeletal things come into play. So a lot of our programming is tailored around that.
Awesome, cool. Right, so you've touched on obviously adapting training and you know, kind of meeting postnatal mums whether that and kind of getting them back to return to regular exercise habits, all the usual stuff. How is Ultra Mums different from just, let's say, attending a regular CrossFit class and just scaling it? Obviously, we sell CrossFit as being this infinitely scalable thing.
Yeah.
How does Ultra Mums differ from us just telling a mum just to scale a regular workout?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think any of our mums members, most of them I would, be happy for them to join a normal CrossFit class. I think that's also because I'm confident in our coach's ability to scale. But I think it's more just it's that lower intensity. It still work very hard and get a sweat up and get sore. But then after the strength piece, we have a 10-minute break because someone needs a breastfeed. And very much you might turn up on the day and have had a rubbish night's sleep. Okay, well, let's take a little bit more time to stretch and warm up today. I think it just takes the edge off the intensity ever so slightly, which I think sometimes that's what mums need. They just want to come and move. I think also the obvious factor is being able to bring their baby with them or their child. We have, older children as well. And I know a lot of gyms have creches, which is wonderful, but your baby's in a different room. You don't know what's going on there. So that can be quite stressful for mums getting back into exercise. They're not going to get the full benefit out of exercise if they're not sure what's going on in the creche, or maybe their child doesn't like the creche, so it's this drama every time you drop them off. Whereas we've got the kids right with us. We've got the toy mat set up, the toy box. The kids are almost free range, sitting there. They see their mums exercising, which I think is also great for role modelling that behaviour. I think that's the main thing. It's that mums being able to bring their kids. Yeah. Because I think that's the key thing in the postnatal demographic. It's the main barrier isn't a lack of motivation. It's a logistics issue. Yeah. So, not everyone has childcare available, or grandparents who are available to look after their kids. So how do mums get that exercise in without having to wake up before sunrise, to go for a run while dad's still at home, or at the end of the day dad gets home from work. It's all well and good saying, oh, that's when mum should exercise, but that's bath time, bedtime, dinner time. Yeah. And let's be honest, when it comes, I spoke about this in the Ultra Dads podcast, in that typically the first thing that you sacrifice tends to be your own journey, your own kind of health and stuff, in order to suit the needs of your family. Yeah. I'm gonna touch on the next point now. So, how does pregnancy and early motherhood change a female when it comes to both her body, exercising, fitness routine, that sort of thing? Oh, hugely. I mean, from the very point of conception, a woman's body goes through so many changes hormonally, musculoskeletally, posturally. Some of those changes are wonderful, and we talk about the miracle of motherhood, but it can also be some pretty frustrating things that happen, whether that's weight gains, skin changes, hair changes. So I think it's the start of when a mother probably feels that her body isn't completely her own anymore. She has no control over this human being growing inside her and often sapping the energy from her. Fast forward then to after giving birth, and it's the same. You've now got your baby outside and you're having to look after it, and it relies on you, and you just don't have the control. You can't shower when you want to shower. You can't drink your coffee when it's hot. You are very much at the beck and call of this beautiful little thing that you love with all your heart. But it just makes you realise that you're not in control anymore. So I think exercise, it's just something that mums can do for themselves. I know it's hard to fit in, and it's not always going to work, but I think it's something that just gives them that little bit of control back, and maybe gives them that confidence and that strength. Yeah,
you've touched on this slightly. Obviously, that confidence and almost the kind of the re-energizing, I suppose. Having coached some of the mum sessions before as well, you can see how appreciative the mums are. Yeah. Beyond just the exercise, though, obviously there's flexibility and confidence. What else do you think Ultra Mums gives to ladies?
Yeah, well, it's that social network as well. I think that it is a mother's group, and I think any form of mother's group is amazing. You get advice, or you can just vent, or everyone can share their dramas around sleep regressions and food allergies. But it really is that support network that is wonderful. I think one of the best things I love about our mums group is that often the mums will go for coffee afterwards. I know one group had a WhatsApp group started, and they're all going to each other's first birthday parties and things like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was just so lovely to see, because it is, sometimes you feel like you're alone, you're in the trenches. I think especially if women don't have family in Brisbane, you've got that support network that for mums can just be invaluable.
Awesome. Yeah, amazing. I think as much as everyone knows, I always harp on about CrossFit and the community and how good, and CrossFit has this perception of being all about the community. I think when you leverage that alongside mums groups, I think it's a formula that can't fail, really, because you've got two awesome incentives there.
Oh, exercise and community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's say that you've got a postnatal mother join the group. What changes do you see in a mum after a few weeks in the program?
Yeah, I think it's just, confidence, you mentioned. They're sore, but it's a good type of sore. I think instead of saying, oh, my back or my shoulders or my neck is sore, it's like, oh, my leg muscles are sore, but I'm feeling stronger. Going back to those half-kilo dumbbells, no baby weighs half a kilo. If anyone's tried to carry one of those baby capsules with a 4-month-old in, they're heavy. So we need to be getting mums to lift heavy. So just getting those muscles stronger, building their endurance. I think sleep quality when you exercise, you might not be getting a lot of sleep as a mum, but the quality you might, once you wake up for that 3 a.m. feed, you might be able to drop off back to sleep faster because you've exercised. So you get better quality sleep, even if the quantity is not there. That dopamine hit that you get with exercise, confidence, and again, that community feel. And I think mental health as well is a huge thing. I know postnatal depression is something that we talk a lot more about, and even in women, if they haven't got postnatal depression, luckily, but there are some really low points of motherhood. I remember when our little one was having a particularly bad sleep regression, and I've be up in the middle of the night, and I just feel, how am I so useless at this? I think getting exercising, and especially strength-based exercise, it just builds your sense of worth as well.
All right, so next point then, how does exercising help a woman become better, either as a partner, for themselves, that sort of thing?
I think I'm a big believer in that. If you help facilitate a mum to exercise or train, or even non-physical hobbies, do something for her, she will be a better wife, mother for her family. Okay. But I also think, why don't we highlight that exercising makes her a better woman for herself, because she deserves things for herself as well. I think so much of a woman's identity is tied up with being a mother and a wife. And yes, that's important. I know when I have exercised, I've come home and I'm a lot less stressed, and I maybe have a slightly higher capacity to deal with things. I sleep better, but I also feel better about myself. So I think all those things are important. And I think with postnatal training, it's not about this bouncing back, losing post-baby weight. It shouldn't be focusing on about that. It's more about helping a woman feel more like herself. Just
show up to help yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that I talk about quite a lot, and I did with the dads and stuff. It's not about X or Y. It's just about show up.
For you. You deserve the best version of you.
And so does your family, but you will be the best version of yourself when you are. You can be the best version of yourself for your family when you're the best version of yourself. Yeah,
and that age-old cliche of, fitting your own oxygen mask before fitting someone else's.
Absolutely. And if I can give you some credit, which is
rare.
Odd. Yeah, very rare.
Yep, this is being recorded. Yep.
I'll stop the recording now. After Ollie, you you got into one of your running eras, and you did the Gold Coast half in 2018, I think. 2018? It would have been 2018.
Maybe.
One of the years.
Yeah. No, 2019.
Well, one of the years.
Yeah, one of the years.
But don't forget, you were also doing just general like 5 and 10Ks running and stuff in that year afterwards.
Yeah.
And I could see just how much better you felt after just going for what you would call like a 3K plod, for example, along the river when we lived where we used to live. And then after Fraser, you basically jumped back into CrossFit and stuff, which was awesome. And so I can see the impact it had on you, because you just seemed so much more energized and so much more confident in yourself, like you said. So the same way from there, if a mum approaches you and says, "Oh, I'm not ready to start, or I'm feeling a bit nervous," how do you respond to that, or what do you say?
Oh, I completely understand. And I think it's that first class is going to be the hardest, turning up, not knowing what to expect. I think just reassuring, it's not CrossFit, so don't think, it's going to be CrossFit. But we look at CrossFit, what is it? It's functional movement, varied, under high intensity. Okay, let's remove that high intensity. You can work at a high intensity if you want, but we're going to meet you wherever you are. So
intensity is relative.
Exactly. So we can scale things, give you different options, just turn up and try and see what you think. I think the other important thing is that we're very flexible with turning up. Like, you can book in last minute, within reason. It's a really nice, small, intimate group. Cancel at the last minute if you've had a rubbish night. But so many times we get these mums come up and they've had a rubbish night, and then they almost don't come, and then they turn up, they train, and they feel so much better for it afterwards. So I think just, look, come along. If you like it, great, but there's no, lock in for 6 weeks. You must attend every 6 weeks, because kids get sick, you get sick. We get it. So we're happy to meet you where you are, and we're here for whatever you need.
It's always normally about 3 minutes before the class starts that the kids tend to get sick.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Speaking from experience there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So the only other question to ask you here, Caz, is how does a mum get started?
So we run every Tuesday morning, 9:15, for roughly 45 minutes to an hour. Again, that just depends on how quickly we get through a class, depending on who needs a feed in the middle. Just if you're interested or have any questions, reach out via Instagram or email, and I just send through a screening form. So I just want to make sure I know about any health concerns, pregnancy or birth related issues that might impact exercise, and just to hear about where you're at, what exercise you've done previously, what you want to get out of training, whether you've seen a women's health physio before. But yeah, just reach out if any questions.
Amazing. Guys, best place to reach out, go to the website. You can use the live chat, the contact us form, send us a DM on Instagram, whatever. Just let us know that you're looking for some postnatal stuff, and we can look after the rest. All you guys got to do is just tell us you're interested, and we'll do the hard bit for you. Yeah, and the other brilliant thing about me being a physio is that you may be eligible for rebates if you have private health with extras cover. So that's just a little bit more of a motivation sometimes, because I know cost can be hard. Babies are expensive. Yes, they are. On that note, we'd best get back to work and actually earn some money to pay for our children. So, Caz, thank you so much for your time. That was really valuable, I think, and hopefully the viewers, listeners all enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that crap that you normally do, whatever, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
See you later. Thanks.